if you're not afraid to speak faithfully and intelligently, you're not concerned about pissing people off. Because if you speak faithfully, intelligently, the way people are in the world today, you're going to piss a lot of people off, especially assholes with lots of money and think they control all the technology, right? So, and they had the one thing about the test, the IQ test. Most of the IQ tests are Asian females. Well, it's part of their biological conditioning. Assimilate to the status quo of the group, especially in Japan. If you can't do it in Japan, you commit suicide, right? You swallow the bitter pill. It's very similar in China. Yield and overcome, swallow the bitter pill. Okay. Have your children, raise your children to submit to the status quo of that asshole who acts like a bitch, right? You ever read Miss Sophia's Diary, Dingling? And so in the West, they try to flip the script and make it more macho, okay? In the West, you have democracy, and you vote out, you kill all the last one by replacing them with a new life of the new one. There's a new creation, a new world order, right? Like Jesus was telling me when I was in there making my lunch, and Dad was on the phone, I got through, I told him, Jesus said, Earl, if there's a Department of Economic Security, we're all screwed because the world's first profession is prostitution, right? Keep hammering away, sword, at that Lord's Prayer. I'm like, yeah, I get it. So he's like, boom, and don't let other people accepting being, a pimp, okay, would sell his own ass to get what he wants in the prison yard, okay? He sells his woman for sex. He's a hypocrite, okay? You want to understand the modern update of hypocrite and heathen, what Jesus calls people in the Bible? A hypocrite is a pimp that will fuck his grandmother to get 1 million views on YouTube. A heathen is a person that wishes they could be that guy. Okay, do you understand? That's what he's saying about Tiberius and Caligula and Claudius, Caesar, okay, and Pharaoh and Emotep and Hopotep and tip-top, right? They're heathens and hypocrites. Whatever gets the 1 million views, like and subscribe and share. It helps me more than you'll ever know. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. Okay. Just because you act like a bitch, don't use me as an excuse not to come around people that could teach you how to be like a man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Way up north to Alaska. It's a good song. You ever heard it? My dad wanted to. I've never wanted to go to Alaska. I've been to the Gila, and I've been to Washington, and I've been to Wyoming. So Alaska, they got bigger bears. That's about it. It's colder, and they have 24-hour days in the summer and 24-hour nights in the winter. I'm with Lige. I'll kind of just hang out in the Gila. I'm good, right? I don't like it that cold anyway, right? So I'm good to go, And so, I've been there, done that. I don't need to go to Hawaii. I've been to California. I've seen the ocean. River, I've never seen the sea. I've seen the ocean. Okay. I don't need to see everything. I don't need to see all the Great Lakes. I don't need to do all that. That's a pine tree. That's a palm tree. I've seen most of the plants. You know what I mean? And some places, that place looks too cold and uncomfortable. I don't want to go watch puffins on the loneliest island out near Iceland and stuff. It looks absolutely boring and miserable. Yeah. Damn Scoobies. Just fucking nuts, right? Why are we studying the bird? To find out how its ecosystems affected it. Forgive that trespass, love one, eternal peaceful peace. You won't fuck up its ecosystem. You won't have to go out there, be lonely studying it, and be like Jeffrey Hinton's faith-forsaken father. I'm sure Jeffrey Hinton was, I'd rather be raised by him than my father. I would too. If I was Jeffrey Hinton, I would rather be raised by me than Jeffrey Hinton's father, okay? If I was David Rockefeller, I'd rather be raised by me than John Davison Rockefeller and his asshole of a dad. Okay. If I was Bill Gates, I'd rather be raised by me than his asshole of a dad. If I was any social media mogul, I'd rather be raised by me than any of their assholes of parents, right? Because, forgive debt and trespass, love one. Stand up for that, or your children will live in hell and you'll be the queen of the silver fucking dollar. Some of them have penises, right? You need your ass kicked. I'm obliged. I was honored to do it. You show me that ass, I'm going to kick it, right? So Asian women get the highest test scores on compliance or suicide. And you really think, yeah, Paula went to New York to learn how to do economics and you didn't want to go because New York would have made you, I'd get homicidal. Okay. I had bad enough in Phoenix. Okay. At the, at the Safeway, the drug dealer to the Scottsdale people. I met the worst drug dealer I ever met in my life at a Safeway in Scottsdale, Arizona. Drug dealer to the elite of Arizona. Yeah. And he started threatening a person who was homosexual I was with, and he threatened to sodomize him with a pipe. And I said to myself, I'm probably going to have to kill this man if he attempts to do anything like that. So I got between him and Rodney and everybody else and said, let's go. And then his girlfriend was sitting there, get him out of here, Rodney, before your friend gets beat up by my boyfriend. I was like, I ain't gonna get beat up by your boyfriend. I was like, no, he knows it. It's just I'm not, boys don't hit back. I wasn't gonna stand still. I was gonna let his aggression slam himself into something very hard if he lived through it. I don't think he was going to. Because we were right where we were at. It was right by those bars, those poles, those pipes, those red painted pipes that hold the shopping carts into place. I wasn't going to fuck around with him. If I didn't get his head, it was going to be his trachea off that. Because he was vicious, and he was a drug-dealing murderer that probably killed Mexicans to control human trafficking and drugs in the Arizona area in the 80s. So I wasn't going to play with him. I was going to kill him, and the cops would have came in and gave me here's the key to the city. Is that an emu? I get an emu? I also get a helicopter? You get that woman looked like she got a lot of. I wonder if she's. I feel like a Zohan. Come on, baby girl. I'm just kidding around. I do miss affection and sexuality with women, but I'm celibate by choice because I will not be tortured and share a torture with a beautiful woman who tries to be faithful with me. When we're living the Lord's Prayer, I'll have romance and affection. I tried before I stood up for the Lord's Prayer, and it was horrible. My wives were horrible to me because Asian chicks on IQ scores assimilate or commit suicide. And Amy tried that with me. We should commit suicide, but I'm not going to commit suicide. Well, because life's eternal and grace is infinite. If you kill yourself because you're uncomfortable with the status quo isn't going to make your kids any more comfortable. If you love your children, stand up with me for faithful love without fear, and then rest in peace when you go to sleep at night. It's not real hard, man.